we could find.
For like the accuracy for that question?
Yeah, I couldn't find any background on it. Like, it was almost like that guy didn't exist.
Yeah, like it's like a secret, isn't it?
It's weird, yeah. There was like a little bit of stuff, but yeah.
So that test is used more commonly for athletes. So you'll find more on like the Bruce protocol, or you could look at just in general using like a metabolic cart versus those other tests, which were just estimates of VO2 max. So, do the best you can. I know there's something out there for it. It'll be hard to find, but, if you want to look for something with Bruce, that's okay too. Because you're right. There's not a lot on McConnell because it's more for like athletes versus the average population. So there's more on Bruce out there. So other questions regarding the lab reports?
For the results, is there a certain way that you want it reported? Because I kind of just said like my VO2 was this, my like whatever is this. And then do you want like the equation in there or in the methods?
Good question. Either place, I don't care. Either place is fine. You can have that anywhere you want. Just make sure the numbers that are in your results section, just make sure you label those. That's kind of something that I look for. And then instead of saying my VO2 max, say the subject's VO2 max. So try to write in third person. Yeah, but either place is fine.
Okay.
Other questions on the lab reports? Everybody's okay? All right. I don't know if the email went out to you guys or not yet, but we got the okay that we're back to real life on Monday. Whoop, whoop. If you haven't got that email, then just ignore what I just said and wait until you get that email because I wasn't supposed to say that. So you know how good I am at keeping secrets, whatever, it's fine. So, let's see, there's 14 of you in here right now. Anybody going to be in quarantine next week on Monday?
I hope not.
Connor, I can't see you. Are you?
Yeah, my Wi-Fi's been really weird. Like,
You're not
3 times to get in. Oh, my quarantine? No, I'm chilling.
Okay. Anybody quarantining? I need one person quarantining. Alfredo, are you quarantining?
Yeah, I think I might start on Monday.
Like for real or just to please me?
Yeah, just for you.
All right, because there are 14 of us in here and I can fit 12 students in Graber 206 plus myself. So I need one person to not be there. Shit. And Hannah, are you in this section? Are you in the 9 a.m.?
She's not in this section.
Okay. All right. Whew. All right. So I think we should.
Oh, 12:30. Oh, she's in 12:30. I thought you were in that class.
No, that's Anna's.
Okay.
Anna's in the 9 a.m.
McKenna might want to do it like on Zoom because she like has to travel. She has to commute.
Oh, that's right, McKenna. Yeah. Okay. Well, basically, I need a couple people. Oh shit, and Matt. Okay. I need several people to not come, and I'll Zoom.
I commute, so I can just Zoom if it's easier for you. I don't care either way.
Okay. I will send out both, and I will assume there's going to be a couple of you that don't come. And if I'm wrong, then like what happens? I don't know. I'm recording this, so I'm not going to say anything inappropriate, but we'll plan that only 12 people will be in Graber 206. Thanks, Patrick. We'll plan that only 12 people will be in Graber 206 on Monday, and then I get to see everyone, and I'll Zoom everyone who's not there, all right? I will send an email for you guys on that as a reminder, okay? Questions on Monday? Okay, so let me pull up, and again, I'm going to send this to you in an email. This is kind of what I drafted. No, that doesn't apply because I'm going to change it and everybody's going to come. So never mind. You are going to have a quiz and that'll be on Friday, next Friday. Okay, a week from Friday, we'll have our next quiz. So Monday, we'll plan that everyone will be either Zooming or in Graber 206 for us to continue with our lecture. Sound good? Yes? Nice job, Matt. How'd it go, buddy?
I'm still recovering.
Okay, well, we got you on camera, so if you need something, you just holler. There's several of us in this building, so.
It's okay. I got like 3 people in this room, so I should be good.
Oh, that's weird. I can see you in the background of cams. This is neat. All right. You guys want to learn a little bit?
I mean, can you tell us a story first, or?
I did. I told you the story of my morning.
You got better ones than that. Come on.
You know, I think I peaked too early. I think I peaked on Wednesday. Wednesday was a highlight for me with story time. And I don't want to tell any good stories because then the first section missed out, you know, because they could barely like learn anything, but no epidural stories today. We'll see what happens though. You guys know that like, I don't ever like plan. I just like whatever's in my head is what I say out loud. So, you know, like it's just how I roll. So you never know what you're going to get out of a class. That's fine. That's good. That's exciting for everyone. Okay. So we've been talking about factors that will affect our response to aerobic training. I think we ended talking about if you could do 45 minutes at 60% intensity or 30 minutes at 70% intensity. Did we discuss that?
Yeah, we decided on 45 minutes was best.
And why did we say that was best?
I think it was because it was better for the population. Athletes would rather do the 30-minute going faster, and like regular people would rather do the 45.
Yeah, and either one is effective for us. It's just a matter of what's sustainable for the average person. And again, for like the athletic population, doing 30 minutes a day at a higher intensity, like no problem for you guys. But for the average person, I would agree, you know, doing a lower intensity every day might be a little more sustainable for them in regards to exercise adherence. But either one is appropriate. Either one would be good in regards to seeing some of those positive changes. Okay. What about duration? How long do I need to go in order to see improvements? Listen to this. Well, it depends on your current fitness level. All right. So if I had, who do I want to pick on today? Sia. Let's go with Sia. All right. If I only had Sia run, 30 minutes every day, Sia, would your fitness improve or decrease?
I feel like it wouldn't really improve that much.
I don't think it would improve at all. In fact, I think it would decrease because that's less than what you're currently doing, right?
For sure.
Okay. So again, it depends on where you're already at. Okay. So we need to provide overload to that particular individual based on what they're already doing. So listen to this. As little as 3 to 5 minutes of aerobic exercise can elicit improvements for unfit people. Let me say that again. As little as 3 to 5 minutes of aerobic exercise will elicit improvements for unfit individuals. 3 to 5 minutes. That's all it takes. That's all it takes for them to stress the system. Okay. Certainly we want them to work up to a higher level than 3 to 5 minutes, right? What's the ACSM guidelines for aerobic exercise? How much should we shoot to do?
20.
More than 20.
Isn't it like 35 days a week or something like that?
Yes. ACSM guidelines, I want these like ingrained in your heads. Okay, 30 minutes moderate intensity exercise 5 days a week, or vigorous intensity exercise accumulating to 75 minutes per week. Okay. So again, if I can do 3 to 5 minutes and that's enough of a stimuli to elicit positive gains or positive change, we want to build that person up kind of gradually over time so that they could do 30 minutes every single day. Okay. All right, training frequency. So again, this makes sense. So the more often I train, the greater the benefit, right? So the more I do, we think of this as kind of a linear relationship. The more I do, the greater the positive change potential is, all right? Now, certainly we understand that there's a point of diminishing return in which we're not going to see any additional benefits. However, you know, some researchers believe it's not necessarily about the quantity, it's more about the quality of training, right? So exercise intensity is probably more influential than frequency. However, both are important pieces of the equation. If I had to weigh those pieces, I would say the intensity at which I'm working is going to be more important than the total volume or the total amount of time that I'm spending doing this activity, okay? So again, increase in frequency might not elicit greater cardiovascular adaptations, you know, above a certain point, okay? So again, when we're thinking about health-related change, it will still improve our overall health and well-being, right? So again, what I'm trying to tell you is that there will be a point at which we kind of top out our cardiovascular change or our cardiovascular benefits. However, I'm still going to see positive adaptations to my overall health if I do more exercise, right? So I might see an improvement in body composition, for example, or I might lower my cholesterol levels or something along those lines. So we still see some positive health benefits. Okay. What mode is effective? What should I do if I want to improve my aerobic fitness? What's the best thing to do? Mallory, what's the best type of aerobic exercise we could do?
I would say anything cardiovascular, like running and swimming and stuff like that.
Okay. Is there a best thing, Nicole?
To improve what?
To improve their aerobic fitness? Is there like a best type?
It would depend on the person, right?
Okay. Tell me more.
So like one type of exercise might not benefit me, but it might benefit you because of like different types of muscle fibers we're born with or previous training.
Okay, good. Really good thought. Yes, partially. So that'll determine, those factors will determine how much of an improvement that we see, but doesn't matter who we are, we're going to see positive change. Doesn't matter what our background is or anything like that. We'll all see a positive change if we do regular aerobic exercise. Now, raise your hand if you like running. If you would just go out and you'd like to run, 30 to 45 minutes. Okay, I got Cam. I got somebody, who's in the dark there? Jenny likes running. Sam, you didn't raise your hand. What the hell? Matt, you love running. You just did it. Okay. All right. So some of you like running. Okay. What about swimming? How many of you would go do lap swimming and maybe that would be a good method for you? Sia says no. Cam's going to get into it. She likes the tan lines. Nicole would get in the pool. Madison's getting in with me. Emma says yes, right? So some of you like that. How about a nice bike ride? Anybody want to, check out the fall foliage with me on a bike ride? Hit some of those hills of Dubuque. Sam's going to challenge me, looks like. Fredo, Jelani. All right, some of you are enjoying that. Mallory, okay. Okay. How about elliptical? Anybody want to hit the elliptical? Nicole's doing it all. Madison's doing it all. Jenny's like, okay with it. Jelani's okay with it. All right. My point is that we've got to think about, when we think about this from a practicality standpoint, what does the person want to achieve? If we're just interested in aerobic gains, like we just want to be a healthier person, then any mode is going to be great, right? Any of those modes are going to be great. Now, if I had a client, and again, when I first started personal training, I had this lady that just was bound and determined she was going to be a runner. She thought, well, my personal trainer runs, and so I need to run if I want to look like her. And I'm like, dude, you don't have to, if you don't like running, you don't have to run to be healthy. Like, that's not the only way to get there. And I remember the day I told her that, she's like, oh, thank God, I just hate running, you know? So like, don't make yourself do something you don't want to do. And I think that's an important thing to make sure our clients know if you're, you know, in personal training and that sort of thing. There's many ways to do this. We have to figure out what that client enjoys, right? So what I would recommend is like, let's give them a shot at everything. Let's have them try the row ergometer. Let's have them try the bike. Let's see if they like the pool, you know? So we want to expose them to all these different modes of exercise and then let them decide for themselves. What do they enjoy? And how can I help to improve adherence to an exercise plan based on this process of enjoyment, right? Again, if you had me do a bunch of flexibility shit, I'm not going to enjoy that and I'm not going to stick with it. Okay. Whereas if you choose something that I do enjoy, wow, I'm more likely to be excited to come to the next session and I'm probably going to stick with it or more likely to stick with it. Okay. So exercise mode, anything, as long as it activates a large muscle mass. Again, the magnitude of training improvement is going to vary depending on training status, but also testing. So again, we just tested Matt on a VO2 max test that's running. Okay. So let's say that he's an unfit person. We just tested him for running. And then I'm going to have him do like this 8-week swimming program, right? So he's going to get in the pool and every day he's going to be swimming and we're going to work on his aerobic fitness. And like, that's great. But in 8 weeks, are we going to see a huge change in his VO2 max on a treadmill? Hi, come in.
Hi.
Come on, you guys. We're in class right now.
Oh.
Welcome back, Carly Skiles and Maeve Dunaway, two of our astounding grads.
Hello.
This is XFiz. Ladies, tell them that they're going to get through it.
Oh, yeah. Get through it.
And tell them what you're up to now as our most successful grads.
Well, I don't know about that, but I'm in MSN program for nursing.
I'm at UIC in their nutrition program.
Yep. They're
Congrats
both
on the engagement, Carly.
Oh, thanks.
They're both out there just crushing it in the real world. Think, Duhawks, that's going to be you guys soon. Oh, yeah.
Start your lab reports early.
They have their first one due on Monday.
Oh?
Start them.
Good luck. You'll be fine.
They're easy.
What?
That is a lie. They're not easy.
What other tips do you have for them?
You know, I'd say don't procrastinate, but I still do, so I can't give that advice.
Any other advice? Why'd you guys get medals?
Because we're awesome. I don't know.
Thanks for participating.
Participation awards.
Thanks
Elena.
for participating, everyone. Just because?
Yeah,
Do we normally give out medals?
I don't know. Everyone has them. I kind of felt special at first.
Except only some people got
the cords?
Yeah.
I think you have to do something to get those.
No, it's like, but even like people, it's like the honors thing. Some people just didn't get them.
Oh, I don't know.
We didn't get them, so maybe you did. I didn't. Not special enough. Didn't work hard enough for it.
Oh my God. And she got engaged too. This is what can happen when you graduate, you guys.
Or before.
No, you were done.
Yeah,
You
but
were
I'm just
done.
saying that
Yeah.
they could be engaged beforehand.
None of them are on that path.
Okay, let me show you. my
Maybe
dress
Matt and
then we'll
Nicole.
tell you.
Yeah, let me see the dress and then we'll get back to business.
I'll
people.
stop interrupting your class. I know you're probably ready to be done with her. Ooh, I'm sweating.
Ooh.
Can you smell me?
Mm-mm.
Oh, well, that's bad.
Yeah.
Here's the bottom.
Okay.
Here's the front.
Ooh, I love it.
And here's the back.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be awesome.
Here's the back, everyone.
That's going to be really awesome.
Maybe you can't see
That's
that.
pretty.
Right. Oh, there it is. Thanks.
All right, get out there and graduate. Give me a hug.
Yeah, Nicole's just waiting on hers now.
All right, guys.
Keep doing it. Bye, Elena.
Bye.
Nicole, do you think you're gonna get a dress like that?
I don't know, because I don't have a boyfriend, so.
Did you guys already break up?
Nicole, I'm right here. What are you doing?
Claire, can I leave now? I don't feel safe in this environment.
That's okay. You don't need to feel safe. Feeling unsafe is part of personal development. That's
Matt
part
will
of how
protect
you.
you.
Nicole,
Don't
the
worry.
great thing about life is that we go on adventures together.
Can we talk about factors that affect aerobic training now, please?
Also, Nicole, I feel like last time we had this conversation, you were really into it, and we need to talk about what's gone wrong. What has changed?
No, that's okay, Beagler. We don't have to talk about it.
No, we can. No, let's do it. Nicole is just
on Zoom.
no, Nicole is just a little on edge because we haven't been able to see each other for a long time.
No, I'm being personally victimized.
Also, you guys, this is being recorded, so this will be going on YouTube. Just FYI.
Perfect. Cool.
So,
Madison, we're gonna be even. Don't worry.
Watch it, Platt.
Okay, you can teach now, Beagler.
I can't wait for it to see what the revenge looks like, and I hope it happens in my class. I just hope with all my heart.
It might. You never know.
That's what I want. That's what I want for you guys. That's what I want.
It's on.
All right, I think we're done with this one. Right, we're done. Oh, so the end story. So we were talking about Matt, not with Nicole, but Matt with the swimming. And if he does another VO2 max test on the treadmill, is he going to see improvements in his VO2 max on the treadmill the next time? What do you think? What do you think, Jenny?
No, because it's a different type of exercise.
Yeah, I mean, he might see a small change, but when we think about testing mode, we've also got to think about what type of training he's doing. So we might see a small change, but probably not a huge change because the modes are different. Okay. How long before we start to see improvements? That's the magical question. You know, we live in this society where we want everything now, right? We want this instant gratification. We want to see, like, I ate healthy for breakfast. Why haven't I lost 5 pounds already today? I don't understand what the deal is, right? So we live in this world where we want instant gratification. However, in this whole fitness and health realm, things take some time, right? So again, we can see improvements in aerobic fitness within several weeks. We've already talked about some of those factors that are going to be modified pretty quickly. So some of those cardiovascular factors will change relatively fast, right? So in as short as 10 days, aerobic training, VO2 max can increase by 10%. So let me tell you a little bit about this study from this statement here. Okay, so this study, 2012, they looked at 10 young adults. They trained 10 days in a row, and each day they did 60 minutes of cycling. So they started with 10 minutes at 65% intensity, 20 minutes at 75% intensity, and then they did 5 by 3 minutes at 95% intensity. Okay, so hey, how's it going? So in the end, they found a 12% increase in cardiac output, 15% increase in stroke volume, plasma volume increased 9%, and that equated to, hey, how's it going? Good. That equated to 10% increase in VO2 max, all right? So now I want you to think about this from a practicality standpoint. They did 10 days, 60 minutes each day, and they were doing some 5 by 3 minutes at 95%, okay? Is that something that's like reasonable? You would think that the average person would be able to do?
No.
Yeah, I mean, probably people in this class would be able to do that and be able to sustain that. But like, I want you to think about like my mom or your mom. Is she going to be able to do high intensity intervals every day? I don't think she could do one day. I don't think she could do one day 60 minutes of aerobic exercise, let alone with these high intensity intervals, right? So again, when we think about the practicality of this, we need to understand what the population is, okay? So this is probably the maximum speed at which I can achieve these changes. For the average person, again, it's gonna be a lot slower than that. All right, here's a story. Who asked for a story? Emma, I think, asked for a story. So has anybody heard of 75 hard before?
Yeah.
Who said yeah? Cam?
In here now.
Okay, so my husband just started this on Monday, and it's 75 days. It's like you follow a diet and you do like 2 45-minute workouts every day, and you do like all these things every day, and it's supposed to be really hard or whatever. And he's like weighing himself every freaking day, and he's like, well, I only lost half a pound today. I'm like, Jesus, dude, if you lose half a pound every day, you're going to be down 37.5 pounds at the end of this. But like, you know, people want to see changes so fast. They're just so impatient. And it's like, settle your shit down, you know, just relax. Things are, just try to be healthy. Like, whatever. That was the opposite of what that slide told you, but, you know, fine. So wish him luck. He's 5 days in, and we have a wedding this weekend. So we'll see how things.
Isn't no alcohol part of it?
Yeah. Yeah. Which is kind of like cramping my style. Like, am I going to just, you know, like be drinking by myself now or what? You know, not that I'm like a big drinker, but like, I want to have a glass of wine. I want to go down to Dimensional and get a beer, you know?
Well, now he can stay with the girls, so.
You should come to Seven Hills either a Saturday or Sunday, because I work there.
You work there?
Yeah, they have really good drinks.
Well, they're okay.
I mean, I actually don't know. They won't let me try them, but.
They do have a good, I do like their that spicy chicken sandwich. That's good stuff there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'll be out of town. We'll be at a wedding, but sometime we'll come down. Maybe me by myself now, Jesus. But whatever, it's fine. All right, so now we have finished up our unit on aerobic exercise, okay? Sadly, we're saying goodbye to it. So we talked about acute change with aerobic exercise. We talked about chronic change. We talked about aerobic testing. So now we're gonna pivot and switch gears here and take a look at anaerobic exercise, okay? So give me a definition. What is anaerobic exercise? Let's start there. What is it, people?
It breaks down glucose for energy without using oxygen.
Thank you. How long does anaerobic activity last? Could last. How long could it last? Maddie, how long does it last?
I guess it can vary, I guess.
What's the maximum?
Like 60 minutes, I don't know.
That's too much. Connor, how long does it last?
See, I thought it was way less than 60 minutes, so now I'm second guessing myself.
No, you are correct.
5-10 minutes.
Less than that. Less than that. Chloe?
5? Isn't it? Or something like that.
Sorry, you cut out for a second.
Like 5 minutes, because isn't it like a short length of high intensity?
Less than 5.
2 minutes. Okay,
yes,
less than 800?
Yes, 2 minutes or less. Yes. Now, you can string that together, though. So some of you that said 60 minutes and 10 minutes and things like that, like that could be intermixed within a longer exercise bout. But if we were just to simply do anaerobic, it would be 2 minutes or less. Okay. All right, so a couple more terms to think about. Tell me what muscular strength is, Madison.
Isn't the body's capable ability to hold a certain amount of weight for one single bout?
Yep, you basically got it. So it's the maximum amount of weight that I could lift in one single repetition, right? What is muscular endurance? Fredo.
The ability of the muscle to like sustain repeated contractions.
Yes. So we're looking at submaximal intensity and being able to sustain that for multiple contractions, okay? And so what's the difference between those two components in anaerobic exercise? Any ideas on that, Matt?
I don't know.
Emma?
I don't know either.
Mallory?
Can you repeat the question?
It's what's on the screen. What's the difference between muscular strength, endurance, and anaerobic exercise?
Isn't it that just that, well, you need oxygen to go to the muscles to supply more oxygen to the muscles, obviously, and then anaerobic doesn't use oxygen energy process?
Good thought, Madison. So again, we are basically anaerobic exercise is like the umbrella, and then muscular strength and muscular endurance are like types of anaerobic exercise. Okay, so muscular strength activities would take us like 1 second. Muscular endurance could take us up to 60 seconds. So again, I want you guys to remember back to personal fitness class. You probably did like a push-up test to exhaustion. You remember doing that, or like the sit-up test, or maybe you did a plank or something like that. Those were all tests for muscular endurance, but remember, those were less than 2 minutes in duration, right? So again, think of anaerobic exercise as kind of this broad umbrella, and then we can put muscular strength and muscular endurance underneath that umbrella. So they're types of anaerobic exercise, okay? This endurance term always throws people off, and people always think when they see endurance that that must mean that it's aerobic, which is not true. In fact, it isn't aerobic at all. Well, not usually. Okay, so muscular endurance is still going to be anaerobic in nature because it's going to last less than 2 minutes. Okay. All right, so what I want to spend the rest of our time talking about are some of the acute responses to resistance training and or anaerobic exercise, okay? So again, I would put resistance training under the umbrella of anaerobic exercise. Other things that we could do besides resistance training that would be included in anaerobic exercise, think of like sprint training or plyometric training or something along those lines, all right? So let's take a look at some of the cardiovascular responses. Now, believe it or not, these cardiovascular changes that we see are going to be really flipping similar to what we saw with aerobic exercise. Okay, so let's start with heart rate. How does heart rate change during anaerobic exercise? Sam Hevlin.
Well, during or after?
During.
Increases.
Yes, well, so we'll see an increase in heart rate, okay? Nicole, what happens to stroke volume?
During anaerobic, would it increase?
Yes, it would increase. Thank you. And if you remember during the aerobic section, we talked about 4 mechanisms that are responsible for that increase in stroke volume. What are those 4 mechanisms? Madison, can you tell me one?
Absolutely not.
Tidal volume?
No, not tidal volume. That's going to be with the pulmonic system. Jenny, do you remember one of those 4 mechanisms?
No, not the top of my head.
Lonnie?
No.
Starling mechanism.
Frank Starling is one. Sia, can you think of another one?
Wasn't there like a Cheppy phenomenon or something?
Yes, Treppy phenomenon. Very good. Let's see, who have I not called on? Connor, you know another?
Wasn't there like a Frick's method?
Oh, the Fick method, is that what you're thinking? That's cardiac output. Yes, that's cardiac output. So far we've got Frank Starling, the Treppy phenomenon, and there's two more things. Connor, I'm still with you. You got anything else?
No, Fick was all I had.
Okay.
Is there the sympathetic nervous system entropic effect?
Yes, the sympathetic nervous system is going to have an inotropic effect, which means it's going to have a direct impact on those heart cells. Okay. And there's one other thing, one other way.
The afterload induced autoregulation.
Thank you. The afterload induced autoregulation. So you guys remember when I was like, hey, you actually need to know this stuff. Like it's going to keep coming back up. It's going to keep coming into our lives. All right. So those four mechanisms are going to allow us to increase stroke volume. Okay. So if I increase heart rate, I increase stroke volume. What happens to cardiac output?
It will also increase.
Correct. It will also increase. Now, one thing to note when we think about the difference between anaerobic exercise and aerobic exercise is the reason why we see those changes. Okay. With aerobic exercise, our purpose was to try to deliver as much oxygen as we possibly can. Okay. During anaerobic exercise, we don't care about oxygen, right? We don't care about oxygen because this doesn't use oxygen. So why would we still see an increase in cardiac output? We're not trying to get more oxygen. We're trying to do something else. What are we trying to do?
Supply nutrients to tissues and organs?
Yeah, we do need nutrients. But with anaerobic exercise, it's happening so fast that we probably already have enough nutrients in that cell.
What was the question?
Why do I want to increase cardiac output during anaerobic exercise? I don't care about oxygen delivery. So what's my purpose?
Take the lactate out.
Exactly. I'm trying to get rid of waste products. Okay. So the acute response is very similar. However, the reason behind it is different. Okay. With aerobic exercise, I'm trying to deliver oxygen. With anaerobic exercise, I'm trying to get the waste products out. Okay. Let's see. Let's talk about blood pressure. That's the other cardiovascular change that we need to make note of. You guys are writing this stuff down, right? Okay, good. All right, so blood pressure. So again, as we see an increase in heart rate and stroke volume, what happens to systolic blood pressure? Does it increase, decrease, or no change? Again, systolic pressure is the pressure exerted when the heart contracts. So if the contractions get stronger, what happens to systolic pressure?
It increases.
Yes, it increases. Okay. So again, that's the same thing as what we saw with aerobic exercise, right? Here's a key difference. What happens with diastolic pressure during resistance training?
Stays the same.
Can't it decrease?
So those were the changes that we saw with aerobic exercise. With resistance training, it's going to increase. Okay. And let me explain to you why. Okay. The reason that during aerobic exercise, diastolic pressure stayed the same or even decreased slightly was we saw more vasodilation going on, right? So the vessels were getting larger. Okay. With resistance training, go ahead and just like contract your arm, contract your bicep and like put your hand on it. Tell me what does it feel like when you contract that muscle? Mallory, what's it feel like?
Like tighter, more firm.
Yes. So we went from like soft to like tighter, right? So what do you suppose that does to the pressure inside of that limb?
It probably
Would
makes
increase the pressure.
It increases the pressure. Very good. Okay. So when I do resistance training, there's this compressive force on whatever muscles I'm contracting, and that's actually going to like impair our ability to get blood in there, right? So as I contract that muscle, everything's kind of smushing together and it gets hard, right? And it creates an increase in pressure. So it's hard for blood to get through there, okay? So as a result, we're going to see an increase in diastolic pressure as well. Okay, so with aerobic exercise, again, those vessels got larger. When I do resistance training, the contraction of the muscle hinders the vessels from getting blood through, which will result in an increase in diastolic pressure as well. Did you guys know that? Isn't that exciting? So the blood pressure changes that we see with resistance training are substantially greater than what we see in aerobic exercise because of this compressive force associated with the contraction of those muscles, okay? Now, the more muscle mass I use and the higher the intensity is, so like the more weight I lift, basically, the greater those changes are, okay? So when I like squat super heavy, I'm going to see some really big changes in blood pressure. Both diastolic and systolic pressures are going to be pretty high, okay? Because there's more compressive force because I'm activating a large muscle mass and I'm activating it as strong as I can, okay? So we'll see substantial change in blood pressure in those particular scenarios. Great. I'm not going to let you guys get too far ahead of the other group. Any questions on anything? Okay, so reminder, lab reports Monday. If you'll want to submit them on turnitin.com, I would also love it if you could bring me a hard copy on Monday. That I will grade those hard copies first. And what else? You'll have a quiz next Friday. I think that's it for updates. Was there any, am I missing anything? You're okay? Any questions? Okay, I hope you guys have a great weekend. Stay safe, and I cannot wait to see you in real life on Monday.